Hello everyone, today I'm going to be teaching y'all how to propagate a plant. If you're asking yourself what that is, don't worry, even myself at one point in my life had no idea what it was until one day when I was younger, my meme showed me how to do it. So plant propagation is just creating a new plant from an already existing plant. This works because plant cells are totipotent. Did I say that right?
Totipotent.
Yeah. This means that a single cell can grow into a whole new plant under the right conditions. Today we will be using asexual plant propagation. This is when a plant makes a new plant without using any seeds. Instead of two parent plants coming together and mixing genetics, one plant just copies itself. So how it works is you take a piece of a parent plant like a stem, root, leaf, or bud, and then this is used to grow a whole new plant. That new plant grows into its own full plant all by itself. Now, this new plant is genetically identical to the parent plant because it is just copying itself. It's basically its clone. This uses no flowers, pollen, or any fertilization. This process does have one downside because you are just cloning a plant. It's going to be a lot more vulnerable to diseases and stuff like that. Common examples of asexual propagation is cutting. This is the method we're going to be using today because it is generally the easiest one. Other methods include runners. Strawberry plants will like grow out long stems to create new plants. Bulbs, this is like onions and tulips, that use their bulbs to create new plants. A good example of the bulb method is some green onion that I have growing right here. I did the same exact process that we are going to do. I just buy green onion, and then once I get down to the bulb, I put them in water, let their roots grow, and then I put them in some soil, and then I have green onion growing. So definitely try this process as well. So step one, you're gonna need a plant. I have this ivy right here, which we're gonna be using tonight. If you don't have a plant, you could go to Lowe's or outside and get one. This ivy right here, my mama actually did give to me, and not this plant exactly, but this was the first type of plant that she showed me how to propagate. People propagate plants in this way because it is generally the fastest way. It works when conditions of the soil aren't good for seeds, and it also helps us keep the useful traits that we want from a plant. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to step two, which is cutting the plant. So for this step, you're gonna need something to cut with. You do want to be very careful with this step because sharp objects can be harmful to your health. So now we're gonna take the plant, and what we're looking for is a node. This is the part of the plant which is basically like the growth hub for the plant, and it's gonna help, it take to the rooting process and whatnot. So this part right here will be perfect because you see how it branches off from the rest of the plant, and it's growing a leaf right here. You also want to make sure that the part of the plant that you are cutting isn't too woody or floppy, and it's, just right and healthy.
So we have the plant right here, and all we're gonna do now is make a clean cut right here. We wanna do it at a diagonal angle just to help the roots grow in better. And then just chop it off just like that.
It is really that simple. So now you're probably wondering, what do we do with this thing? Well, I'm gonna show you. We are just gonna take this piece and put it in some water. I have this bottle of Patron right here, reduce, reuse, recycle, and it is really that simple. The thing's gonna sit in here. I'm gonna put it on my window right here, and it's going to grow roots. So why do I put it in water? There's different ways you could do this, but I put it in water because it prevents the node from drying out. The roots can grow without resistance, and it just responds really well to moisture. I also like to put it in water because it helps me with receiving feedback from the plant, like to see how the roots are doing, spot early signs of rot, and ultimately when it is ready to move into soil. So yeah, it is pretty much that simple. All we have to do now is wait. So this moves us into step 4. Once you see that the roots have grown a couple centimeters long, it is ready to move into soil. It is important that you don't wait too long because when roots grow in water, they become specialized. They get used to the low oxygen environment and they become a lot thinner, not taken to soil as well. So you want to do it when they're just a little bit long so they take to the soil a lot better. So what we would do is take the node out of the water and cover it in soil, and boom, we have a new plant. I wish I could demonstrate that process for you, but then I would have to invent a time machine, and I'm not quite there yet, but I can show you an example. So I planted this node right here a couple months ago with these beautiful pearl succulents, and it has taken very well. It has like, the leaves were so much smaller at one point. But yeah, I put it with the pearl succulents because they both love water and sunshine, and they're so pretty, and now they sit in my window and look all pretty. So thank you for listening to my demonstration on how to propagate a plant. I hope you were able to learn how to propagate a plant. And if not, maybe you just don't have a green thumb. Thank you.